Imagine standing in the middle of the desert, where the sun burns the ground and the air itself feels heavy. Now imagine someone saying, "Let's build the deepest swimming pool on Earth right here." Not just a pool, not something simple or ordinary, but a massive underwater world so deep that light itself struggles to reach the bottom. A place where mistakes could cost millions, and one wrong calculation could make the entire structure rise out of the ground like a floating ship. At first, it sounded impossible. Engineers shook their heads. Experts warned of danger. The ground beneath Dubai was hiding secrets no one wanted to face. But here's the twist. Dubai doesn't walk away from impossible ideas. What followed was not just a construction project, but a battle between human ambition and the laws of physics. A story of pressure, fear, last-minute changes, and a race against time. This is the story of how engineers pushed technology to its limits and how the world's deepest pool was born beneath the sands of Dubai. Dubai has always been a city obsessed with breaking limits. Tallest tower, largest mall, fastest growth. But long before skyscrapers and luxury, Dubai's story was tied to the sea. Decades ago, pearl divers would dive into deep waters without modern equipment, risking their lives to bring pearls to the surface. That history mattered because when the idea of the deepest pool came up, it wasn't just about records, it was about honoring the city's past while rewriting its future. The vision was clear. Create a place that felt like an underwater city frozen in time, a place where divers wouldn't just swim, but explore. But dreams are easy. The ground is not. Dubai's soil hides groundwater just a few meters below the surface. Dig too deep and water pushes back with enormous force. Build too wide and the pressure multiplies. Every meter downward increases risk. Engineers knew that if they wanted a world record, the pool couldn't be built above ground. It had to be carved into the earth itself. That single decision turned a bold idea into a nightmare of calculations. The target depth was over 60 meters. No pool on Earth had ever gone that deep, and none had been built under these conditions. Still, the order was given, and once Dubai commits, there is no turning back. The first challenge was planning, not just how deep to go, but how to keep everything from collapsing. Engineers from around the world were brought in. Blueprints were drawn, erased, and redrawn again. The pool needed thick walls, but also flexibility. It had to withstand water pressure, soil pressure, and groundwater pressure, all at the same time. The design took inspiration from a giant seashell, a tribute to Dubai's pearl diving routes. From the outside, it would look elegant and symbolic. Inside, it would be pure engineering chaos. Then came excavation. A massive vertical shaft had to be dug straight down into the ground. Not sideways, not sloped, perfectly vertical. But here's what nobody expected. Just a few meters into digging, water started leaking in. Groundwater was seeping through tiny gaps, filling the pit faster than expected. Pumps were installed immediately, running night and day. The deeper they went, the worse it became. To prevent the walls from collapsing, engineers built a special concrete barrier known as a diaphragm wall. It surrounded the excavation like an underground shield. This alone took months. Every section had to be precise. A single weak spot could lead to flooding or collapse. And while all this was happening, time was slipping away. Then came the news that changed everything. Another country had built a deep diving pool with nearly the same depth Dubai was aiming for. The world record was suddenly at risk. What nobody expected was how Dubai would respond. Instead of stopping, they decided to go deeper. But that decision created a terrifying problem. The deeper the pool, the stronger the buoyancy force pushing it upward. Just like an empty bottle floating in water, the entire structure could rise out of the ground if the force wasn't balanced.
Engineers ran calculations over and over again. At 45 meters, the balance worked. At 60 meters, it didn't. For days, the project stood still. Millions were already spent. Equipment sat idle. The pressure was intense.
Then, finally, a solution emerged. The bottom section would be narrower than the top, reducing the upward force. And beneath the pool, a special anchoring system would lock the structure deep into the earth, like a ship's anchor holding it in place. It was risky, it was expensive, but it was the only way forward. Excavation resumed, slowly, carefully. Every few meters the ground was tested. Pumps worked non-stop to keep water out. Tons of soil and rock were removed and transported away. It took years, not months, to reach the final depth. And just when engineers thought the hardest part was over, another race began. The pool couldn't stay empty for long. Without water inside, groundwater pressure from below could lift it upward. But filling it wasn't easy either. Over 14 million liters of water were needed. The city's water supply alone wasn't enough, so hundreds of water tankers were brought in, delivering water day and night. Even then, filling the pool took weeks. Inside, an entire underwater city had already been built. Rooms, staircases, vehicles, furniture, all designed to sink, not float. But once water entered, some objects refused to stay down. Engineers had to drill holes, add weights, and redesign parts on the spot. Every problem demanded a new solution. As the pool filled, new issues appeared. Some materials reacted badly underwater. Others corroded faster than expected. Nothing could be ignored. Divers inspected every inch. Engineers adjusted systems repeatedly. A high-tech filtration system, inspired by space technology, was installed to clean all the water every few hours. Temperature controls kept the water comfortable, no matter how hot it got outside. Finally, after years of struggle, the impossible became real. The deepest swimming pool in the world stood complete beneath Dubai's desert. But the emotional cost was heavy. Teams worked under constant stress. Deadlines loomed. Mistakes could destroy everything. Families barely saw each other. Engineers carried the weight of responsibility every single day. Yet when the first divers descended into the depths, something changed. What they found wasn't just a pool. It was a silent underwater world, filled with mystery and beauty. A dream that once seemed impossible was now real. Today, people see Deep Dive Dubai as a luxury attraction. Few understand the fear, pressure, and sleepless nights behind it. This pool is not just concrete and water. It's proof that when ambition meets persistence, even the ground beneath your feet can be challenged. Dubai didn't just build a pool. They challenged physics, they defied limits, and they reminded the world of one simple truth: some dreams are only impossible until someone decides they're not.